hello. Look at all the beautiful faces coming in, signing up. Now I know everyone, a bunch of people are probably looking at me weird. Like, wait a second. The Bruja grow a goatee? What's up with the gray hair? She look like forever young. No, it is me, advocate of words. I am stepping in and hosting the Thursday night online open mic presented by the New York Poets Cafe. Normally it is hosted by La Bruja, but right now she is auditioning for a very important and big film. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything other than that. She almost didn't go to the audition. I had to let her know, don't worry, I'm gonna cover Thursday tonight for you. You gotta do it because she loves y'all so much. So those of you who are new here, this is the Thursday night online open mic presented by the New York Poets Cafe, normally hosted by La Bruja. You can follow her on Twitter and Instagram at La Bruja NYC. And when you spell Bruja, that's Bruja, not HA, where you speak in Spanish there. So with that being said, I'm getting a lot of messages. Let me try to set this up. What I'm going to do now, everyone who is here in the Zoom chat, make sure you open the chat. I just put up what the open mic list is tonight. Tonight, you have between 3 and 4 minutes to either share your poem, comedy routine, you want to do hip hop, you want to do singing. I know we got some singers on here, usually Bill Elkins and Catman Bill. The Bills, they like to do their music. So we're going to hear a bunch of different things. And of course, a lot of the people who are here tonight are also here on Mondays. A special announcement. Before the end of the show, I am going to post the sign up link, the sign up list, the link to the sign up list for June 12th. The New York Poets Cafe. Wait. I got to get the real information here. So I make sure I say everything right because this information just came to me. I want to make sure, all right? I'm going to post the link later tonight. This is the open mic sign up link that we will be using for the outdoor event with Pipeline and Wild Project. It's called Wild Culture, Artistic Exchange with New York Poets Cafe, Pipeline Theater, and the Wild Project. The first 15 people to sign up get a guaranteed spot, and then the wait list will be afterwards, just kind of how we do online. Advocate is hosting. That's me. Advocate is hosting, and our time frame is from 4 to 6 p.m. You got 5-minute time slots, and you could do a variety of talent. Same thing we do here on the Thursday night online open mic. And all the info is also on the form. If anything isn't clear, I will be posting that link later tonight. So that means a week from this Saturday, it's going to be a block away from the New York Poets Cafe. New York Poets Cafe is on 3rd Street between Avenue B and C. But this event outside is going to be on 3rd Street between Avenue A and Avenue B. So you can run over to the cafe, get some selfies in front of the awning, and then you run back to the open mic. We're going to be doing from 4 to 6 a week from this Saturday. So make sure you stick around to the end, because at the end is when I'm going to post the link. Because if I post the link now, then everyone's going to click it, go sign up, and we're not going to hear the beautiful poetry and the beautiful music or comedy, hip hop, or whatever people are doing. So do this every Thursday night. I haven't hosted Thursdays in a while. Oh, and I'm going to try to keep tradition what La Bruja does. One of the things, I'm not going to sing the Pop the Cherry song. I don't think that's going to work very well for me. I think people will be more offended than laugh. But La Bruja can get away with it, and she does it well. Unfortunately, she's not here. Next time, I'm going to have her record it. So when we have someone new, I'm just going to play the recording. I get away with it then. So, yes, I think that is it. I want to say you got 4 minutes. There's no censorship. And before we begin, because on Thursday night, we like to unmute everyone so that everyone can be loud and obnoxious and all that good stuff in the very beginning, because we don't unmute people after they perform on Thursday night. So with that being said, let me unmute everyone. You should get a message to unmute yourselves and be as loud and obnoxious as you want. What's
everybody?
What up, New York? See you again.
Rock and roll time.
Hi, Stefan.
Hi, everyone.
Love it, man. I wish we were in person, but we will be a week from this weekend, a week from this Saturday. So with that being said, we are going to start off with the professor, as La Bruja likes to call him, Mr. Tessosomo, who missed us on Monday night. And it's been months since Mr. Tessa Somok hasn't signed up for a Monday night. So I'm happy that he is here. Mr. Tessa Somok, let the people know where they can follow you, and then let's hear your poetry, brother.
All right, folks can follow me on Instagram under my book title, Gashes 2019. And my piece tonight is titled Normal. A normal is an object that is perpendicular to another object. A normal may have length or represent the curvature of the object. The word normal is used as an adjective. The concept of normality generalizes orthogonality, the immersive, generalized, differentiable manifolds of arbitrary dimensions. A normal is determined from the cross product of two non-parallel normals. A normal does not have a unique direction. One can distinguish between the inward or the outer direction by the right-hand rule. Normalization involves the construction of an idealized norm of conduct. How the proper soldier should stand, march, present arms, organo-sized, disciplined body, down to the minute detail, modulated by reward and punishment. The mechanics of institutional social structure of the bygone Gothic modern society, social normalization by deceit substitutes the model in place of the calculated, generalized, differentiable manifolds. The model, an optimized model, is politically constructed in terms of a manifested, manufactured outcome. The model presupposes a collection of hierarchical, interlocked institutions of conformity. The model permeates the socius through layered institutions of prescription, group pressure, individual pressure, conformity, and anti-conformity. The social normal is a priori justified by force of law through the recuperation of the jurisprudence of the failed Roman Empire at 476. 60 years later, in 529, Justinian I, the Emperor of Byzantium, ordered the collection of the Corpus Juridicus Civilis, the body of civil law, also known as the Code of Justinian. The ground of the yoke is derived from three parts: the Codex, a compilation of imperial enactments; the Digest or Pandex, the Encyclopedia of Roman Jurists; and the Institutions is a textbook introducing the code. And finally, the Novella consists of new laws that were passed after 534. Normalization consists in trying to get people, movements, and actions to conform to the model. The normal is precisely that which conforms to the coercion of this norm. The abnormal is incapable or refuses conforming to the norm. The irony of the normal is that the normal manifold is dynamic, readjusting based on social pragmatics, univocity, multivocity, affinities, where multivocity is composed of involving or containing the perspectives of more than one person. There is an originally prescriptive character of the model as the norm. The order word commands, reflexive compliant determination, reflexive identification to the normal or the abnormal. In other words, it's not the normal or the abnormal that is a fundamental and primary and disciplinary normalization. It's the model. Our vigilance must turn to the ruin of representation, the shattering of the abstract model, the complete overthrow of hierarchic organic thought and philosophy, politics, aesthetics, and ethics, as well as in society at large.
Mr. Tessa Somok, one more time, brother. Let the people know where they can find you online.
Instagram on Gashes 2019 and Pandemic Poets on Facebook, and I'll drop it again on the chat.
Please do. Yes, check out Pandemic Poets, the group on Facebook. It's run by Mr. Tessa Somok. Normal. I always tell people, like, when I'm dating someone who's not an artist, I'm always like, yeah, I'm dating a normie. I'm dating a normie, a 9 to 5. But I really believe that us artists should be with normies. Two artists, too much problems. That's just my thought. But then, if you're the type that's like, 3, 4 artists, that's a party. but it'll soon turn into a fight. DG Clearing is next. Been there, done that. DG Clearing.
Okay, it's so nice to see you tonight.
It's good to see you. Go ahead, brother.
You know, you can find me at DG Clearing somewhere on the net if you pull that up. You know, I have one poem for you tonight. It is Pride Month. This is in celebration of Pride Month. My first rainbow. When I was just a baby, I saw my first rainbow above my crib, hung in the sky with the sun and the moon and the stars. When I was 3, I saw my first rainbow outside, hung in the sky with the raindrops and the clouds and the birds. That is when I drew my first band of colors with crayons. It hung on the fridge with a magnet alongside the other pictures of people and words. When I was 7, I made a rainbow with hearts of color on the sidewalk with chalk and imagined that it hung in the sky with my grandma who had just died. When I was 12, in my diary with the rainbow on the cover, I wrote about the colors of my dreams: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, a band of colors that would always protect me. When I was 16, hid under my dresser drawer, I kept the secret of the rainbow bound in my journal with notes and pictures inside. When I was 19, there was a person who shared their rainbow with me, with colors in their art that I had never seen before. When I was 23, I played with all the colors, smearing them together like finger paints, making the modern art of my time. When I was 27, in the tablet of my keepings, I searched for the pot of gold at the rainbow's end. When I was 32, I stood inside the end of the rainbow, and I knew what I had written was true. It was all going to be okay. Thank you. Happy Pride Month.
DG Clearing, thank you, brother. Thank you. You know, La Bruja, she likes to talk about the rainbow and how it also represents Puerto Ricans because we have so much of everyone in us. So, shout out to DG Clearing, man. I appreciate you as always, brother. Those of you who are familiar with our community knows that DG Clearing is a very given man with his time and all of that. And he's also a little bit of a celeb. He was recently written up in the newspaper, and it got like over 1 million hits. Make sure you look him up. DG Clearing on Facebook. He's my wingman. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you as always. This dude got energy for days. I love it. All right, now we're going to Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he had a huge part in the highlight reel from our last Monday night online open mic. Make sure that you go check that out. Did you see that, Mr. Speaker? Did you see it?
I haven't seen it yet.
What are you doing? What are you doing with your life if you're not on social media following everything I post, man? Come on, get it together. All right, Mr. Speaker, let the people know where they can find you, and let's hear your fire.
Hey, all my social stuff is listed right there next to my right ear. So let's get it in. Little Africa. Allow me to take you back in time and provide you with some knowledge. See, baby, I'm gonna tell you about a place you just probably won't hear about while attending college. The time was 1870 to 1921 for your historical notation, and the north side of Tulsa, Oklahoma is the actual recorded location. See, North Tulsa was called Little Africa, as this name marked praise, the most affluent Black community in America. The witnesses were amazed. Jim Crow laws created all Black communities. See, we cannot denied this. And right down racial lines was how the United States was divided. Tulsa, Oklahoma was separated by the Arkansas River, but not equal by any tale. The white side was not nearly as prosperous, while the Black community completely excelled. Little Africa contained Black doctors, politicians, or barons and PhDs, all Black businesses, farms, schools, and many Black attorneys, Black-owned restaurants, grocery stores, libraries, movie theaters, and places to sleep. So many prosperous businesses that Greenwood Avenue was called Black Wall Street. Yes, Black Wall Street, because see, that's just how much money flowed. I'm not making this up. It's research, and it's the truth history holds. Nepotism kept the money circulating within the community, even for loans. Everyone purchased from their neighbor, which kept the money coming right back home. Brotherly love and altruism were practiced, while crimes were very low. Morals were taught to all, and children actually did what they were told. Neighbors volunteered to help other neighbors in times of trouble. City families had about 5 children, while farming families had about double. White coal miners came to North Tulsa to work 72-hour-long shifts as well. So they too helped the pockets of these Black businesses to swell. In the 1800s, Little Africa had its own transportation system to assist them all. Blacks kept to themselves, took care of each other, so no citizen would fall. From Greenwood Avenue, A, G, to Archer and Pine Streets, life was prosperous and grand. And if you take the first letters of each one of those streets, G-A-P, you will see that is where they got the name for the Gap Band. Shots out to Uncle Charlie. By 1921, there were over 100 Black millionaires, 6 even on airplanes. Black Wall Street was thriving and looking for more financial gain. But see, on the South Side, whites lived below the poverty line. And white servicemen returning from World War I, they also fell on hard times. So what happened to Little Africa, one might say? Well, the Ku Klux Klan decided they were going to take that prosperity away. So on the 1st of June, 1921, envy, greed, and jealousy took control, and a Black Holocaust in America was about to unfold. This race riot was one of the most violent ever carried out on American people. It was the largest massacre of non-military Americans in history with no recorded equal. Within hours, hundreds of Black-owned businesses destroyed on the north side of town. 3,000 men, women, and children dead. Hundreds could not be found. Hundreds of homes and farms lit up the skies as they were burned to the ground, while good white Christian families just watched and stood around, witnesses to the KKK killing anyone whose skin color was brown. Little Africa was unlawfully lynched as this massacre went for 72 hours and from yard to yard, until the white sheriff sent his Black deputy to call out the state's National Guard. The National Guard came to prevent the loss of more innocent lives, as death is what they saw. And the first order of business was to establish and enforce martial law. They stopped the killings, aerial bombings, disarmed and sent the Klan home while doing their jobs. But they failed to prevent the loss of hundreds of businesses, stores, movie theaters, grocery stores, churches, restaurants, hundreds of homes and farms, 2 movie theaters, banks, and even a hospital laid in the wake of this hateful and angry mob. Restitutions never happened. Insurance claims dishonored and Black voices silenced. Mass graves around this city hid this act of complete and senseless violence. Impacts today, African Americans have little nepotism, or we've lost a lot of our financial power. We seldom support each other, and our money can leave the community within about a couple of hours. So consider this your history lesson for today. And do not underestimate your economic might, because baby, if you don't honor and protect what you have, it could be gone overnight. In peace.
Ooh, Mr. Speaker, MrSpeakerInc.com, and you spell ink, that is with a K-I-N-K, and y'all need to look that up. He's dropped that poem before. That shit is truth, man. That shit is truth. Black Wall Street, look that up. And then take some time to look up Wall Street in New York City. There's some history there you need to read up on. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate you as always, brother. And, you know, after the show, do yourself a favor and go to my social media so you can see that you were in the highlights. Usually I post the highlights on Monday mornings, but it was Memorial Day. I couldn't wait a week, and it was fire, so I had to do it. Okay, next coming up, we are going to the cult leader, and that is Nick Paleologos. Those of you who are unfamiliar with Nick and don't know what I'm talking about, just be careful about what he's about to say in his poem. You never know. All right, Nick, let people know where they can find you online, and let's hear it.
You can follow me at the Real Nick P on IG, and also go like The Word Is Right on Facebook and IG too as well. And also, little shout out to you, Advocate. Thank you for the advice that you gave me the other day. It really helped me out with my show on Wednesday. I got one for y'all. I'm gonna do this one here. I don't think I've done this one on a Thursday or at New Year. Then again, when you've written so many poems. This one's called Out of XP. Two hands crawl out of my throat. They taste of marble menthol and tea to my tongue, rip open my mouth and climb out of me, emerging like spiders. Madness it is. And no, this isn't Sparta. It is my body undergoing the process of shedding my skin and unleashing the venom from within. The forearms outstretched as the rest of my madness makes my body explode like I had caught a grenade like a football. Donning the Spawn outfit with Joker mentality, letting me destroy everything from relationships to structure, from trauma of 17 years, still haunting me as the ghost of my former self can only watch in horror. How can madness convince me to stay when it's plotting its next way to attack me like a tyrant with no nation, a snake without rattle, a king with no crown? It's because we need each other to balance ourselves out. An amalgamation of anger and alleviation, Beast Boy and Deathstroke incarnation. I am the level 100 RPG character with the upgrades, the moves, the lack of motivation, the concern of starting again. Another rebuild. For a championship run, from another to emerge out of a corpse, to repeat the process. I am ready though. I hope that this will be the last one. Tyrants always take down anyone with them, and the tyrant within is on borrowed time.
Our cult leader, Nick Paleologos. You can find him on Instagram at The Real Nick P. And you see he's starting to host shows now too. And this is one of the reasons I keep talking about share your handles, share where you are on social media, because I know the New York does a lot and you guys come and support us and we love you and we hope that you love us. We think you love us, you keep coming, but we know that also you want to do more than just this. And that's what I'm saying, connect with the other people. Congratulations, Nick, on hosting your first open mic. It's not as easy as it looks. La Bruja makes it look easy. I know. Appreciate you, brother. At The Real Nick P. Make sure that you give him a follow. But don't like him too much because he hung out with that New York hangout and didn't even invite me. So, so we're a little upset. But who we're not upset at, because he wasn't there, is a man across the border. That's right, folks, we're going to Canada. You racist people thought I meant Mexico. And that is with Jeff Cottrell. Jeff, let the people know where they can find you online, and let's hear your story, brother.
All right, I have a website at jeffcottrell.com, and I'm easy to find on Facebook and Twitter. And I'm going to do a newish one, though some of you have heard it before. I guess La Bruja never will now, though. This is called Dear Facebook Troll. So, you say I'm a shite poet. You think I'm some pathetic, hacky Kenny Banya-like comic who ran screaming to spoken word when his stand-up career didn't pan out. And you say my Facebook posts are tiresome, faux-edgy rants that are trying way too hard to shock. After playing the spoken word game for more than 20 years, I assure you I've heard worse, and I'm not even going to waste my time disagreeing with you. I know that humor and art are subjective. I know that your honest opinion of me is none of my business. But there's a pattern I've noticed in your cheap, lazy, bitter social media snipes. I've noticed that anytime a poem or a writer that you think is bad is being published online somewhere, that's when you launch one of your little half-assed smear campaigns on the old Facebook, straining desperately to condemn said poet to social pariah status for being a fraud or an imposter or worse, while egging your virtual clique to join the pile on. And when your target dares to unfriend you, you laugh and say, well, I guess he just can't handle criticism. Two things. One, when somebody unfriends or blocks you because you're being a douchebag, that ain't the checkmate mic drop victory point you think it is. Two, when you devote this much of your precious time and energy to pissing on the parades of poets who are just starting to enjoy some small smattering of success, that doesn't smack of constructive criticism. That reeks of jealousy. But I have a proposal for you, dear Facebook troll. If you choose to take me up on this offer, you may reap rewards far more satisfying than the mean-spirited adrenaline rush you get from being a grade school bully behind a keyboard. Here's my challenge for you. Are you ready? I want you to beat us at our own game. I want you to give us a reason to be jealous of you. I want you to write poetry so good that we can't make any legitimate complaints about it. I want you to show us how to do it right, with your example alone. I want you to get published in journals and anthologies too prestigious for our vainest dreams. I want you to land reading gigs around the world, from national slams to major international authors festivals. I want you to make metaphors that will change the way we see life, death, and everything in between. I want you to craft verse so beautiful and universal and timeless that college English students will be picking it apart 100 years from now and loving it. I want you to change the way the rest of us write poetry and read it too. I want you to make poetry a mainstream form of entertainment that makes comic books and action movies and reality TV seem tame and obsolete. I want you to turn your spotlight away from our perceived flaws and onto your full poetic potential. That's what I want you to do, dear Facebook troll. That's my challenge for you. Isn't that a better way to own me and the rest of us? And when you start your ascent to those lofty heights of poetic credibility, maybe I'll cheer you on. And then maybe your criticism will carry some weight. But here's my question. If you love poetry as much as you profess, why aren't you chasing after these triumphs now? Why aren't you already on your way? Could it be that you just don't have the guts? Because if you don't have the guts to play this game the proper way, then maybe you should just click the Facebook tab off and shut the fuck up. That was called Dear Facebook Troll.
Whoa, take it easy, Jeff. Don't hurt anyone, man. This is just a poetry open mic. That was Jeff Cottrell talking about the trolls. We've all been there. JeffCottrell.com, when you spell his name, that is with 2 L's. Wait, Jeff, are you on Instagram too?
No, not yet. Should
Okay.
I be? Should I be?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of trolls over there you've yet to meet. So you will be able to write a second piece to this, okay?
You know what? It was LiveJournal. LiveJournal, everybody was always just trying to start fights with me over stupid things.
Yeah, it's Tumblr.
LiveJournal was the problem for me. Yeah.
Tumblr too. Got to check that out. Tumblr, if you don't have that already, Tumblr. All right, so we're going to avoid Facebook, LiveJournal, and Tumblr. All right, JeffCottrell.com. Make sure you check him out. And he's on Facebook. Jeff, thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. Next coming up is... And if we ever wanted to sell anything, we're going to Jeff. He is really a salesman. Then we'll really piss off the trolls. Michael Sindler, who is hatless today. Michael.
Yeah, I usually am. Almost always. I put on the beanie for
I know.
just for fun, and then you hit me with the ghoul fat. But yes, usually I'm just as I am.
And we love it.
Yes, and despite the fact you say I am keeping, tight wraps, I actually do have things going on, put them in, some features and stuff. So they're in the chat, but I do tomorrow, lighthousewriters.org Litfest starts. So try and get in there, take some classes, watch all the free stuff at night. But just go to that link in there. There's just so much cool stuff. And okay, that being said, this is, I think, sort of appropriate for Pride Month. It's called Color My World. It's rainbowy. First, color my world with the invisible, the essential, the incorruptible. Grab the widest of brushes and dip it deep into compassion, swirling it until every bristle is saturated. Make wild, sure strokes across the background of being. Cover it thickly, a viscous gesso, grounding all that will float and flow upon its surface. Let it dry slowly with the warm breath of love, freeing vapors of longing, rising and disappearing into the waning clouds of thought. Sand it gently with empathy until its soft, smooth surface contains no crevasse, crack, or outcropping in which the dusty particles of doubt may find purchase. And then color my world with all shades of human, every hue born from every clime. Cover my world with a cross pollination of lovers who leave convention behind. Color it with the shape and shade of every tribe. Color it with strands and curls and ringlets, with fuzz and stubble and wild cowlicks. Color it with eumelanin and femelanin. Color it with freckles and tans and birthmarks, with rashes and sunspots and scars, with albinism and vitiligo. Color my world chocolate, saffron, and natto and peach. Color it oat, wheat, cumin, pecan, and chickpea. Color it delicious. Color my world raw umber, burnt sienna, burnished copper, and dimpled bronze. Color it smooth amber and saturated coral. Color it pale chalk, glimmering sand, and fragile rust. Color it hard and strong, soft and malleable, cold and warm, and always beautiful. And then color my world with every chroma, every pigment of plant and plumage. Color it deep forest and shocking chartreuse green. Color it swaying poppy, slithering salamander, and fluttering cardinal red. Color it bold sunflower and tart citrus yellow. Color it ripe cut melon, darting goldfish, and roaring tiger orange. Color it resting robin's egg, scampering scarab, fluttering morpho wing, and clear waving water blue. Color it drooping wisteria, plump grape, and slow sea snake, stale purple. Color it striped and spotted and spiked and rounded. Color it kaleidoscopic. Color it subtle and brilliant, pastel and iridescent. Color it contrasting and complementary. Color it microscopic. Color it vast. Color it a rainbow encircling the horizon. Color it wisdom. Color it passion. Color it intellect. Color it faith. Color it action. Color it thought. Color it everything. Color it now. But most of all, with every stroke, every moment, every movement, every touch, color it love.
Michael Sindler. Oh, I think that may be my favorite from you, which is a great segue for me to mention that all of our open mics are recorded on put in Facebook and YouTube. So I know later on tonight, I'm going to go rehear this poem by Michael. Make sure that you go do the same. Mr. Sindler, is there a website that you would like to promote before we move on?
Well, I did just sort of go through, like I say, I've got the features coming up. The next one I think is, oh God, I can't remember what I'm doing. What am I doing? They Call Me Mitch on the 11th, and doing Fincabulary, the wonderful Trisha, on the 17th. So yeah, good stuff.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Michael. That is Michael Sindler. All right, before we move forward, real quick, number one, someone jumped into the chat that I want to shout out, and that is Fish Vargas. Yeah, Fish, I see you jumping in. Fish was around and part of the New York community before I even began. I was like really super wet behind the ears, and he was doing his thing. He is out now in North Cali doing his thing. He was about to beat someone up the other day. I saw that post on you had on Facebook. I am glad that you were not arrested or didn't get into a fight, because you would have heard him. Fish is from the Bronx as well, and he's into football, so I love that dude, man. Shout out to Fish. Real quick before we move forward, I want to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can help support us with a tax-deductible donation at nuyorican.org/contribute, or you can go to our Cash App and send it there to Nuyorican Poets Cafe. And now let us move forward. Also, Fish Vargas, go look that dude up, okay? That's what you're gonna have to do. Go look him up, man, show him love. And harass him and tell him that I sent you to go harass him with love. Ed Poetastic is next. Where is Ed? Oh, there he is. I saw him right away. Let me unmute this dude. Ed, let the people know where they can find you. Let's hear your poetry, brother.
Oh, hey, Advocate. Your words can really hit, but everyone knows you're the shit. All right. My name is Ed Potastic. You can find me at Eddie Form on Facebook, and you can find me at IG. Oh, you can find me at Ed Foreman92 on IG. So, my hello, my Potastic peeps. I'm glad you could not count on those sheep, so you could listen to something so deep to make your hearts want to leap. My name is Ed Potastic. No, my name is Ed Fireman. I want to burn your nights to give you such a sexual fright, so you could burn so bright, so you can taste my erotic delights. All right, let's begin. This is called Soak Dreams. My explicit thoughts dance in my head as I lay down on my bed. It's night, I'm seeing crimson red, something scrumptious up ahead. This is going to be my old illustrated fantasy. Some erotica in this reality is to awaken our scorching sexuality, to elevate our sensational spirituality. As your naked body lay next to me, while we scream like horny banshees, hearts full of passion and sexual glee, while we bask in the deep velvet sea. You're so beautiful to put into words while my hands scratch your file like a record. Now I can't wait for what's going to occur. It's something I can't put into simple verbs. Let my seductive poetry draw you in my fantasy. It's okay to be jittery and antsy. I want to rip off your pink chastity to help me relieve my crazy insanity. Your eyes look wide, moving slowly to touch something so bare and showy. Right now, we're going to do something so unholy to make us feel holy. My kisses touch your neck while I kiss every naked tiny speck. Slowly I peck, 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 soothing your clear, sweaty deck. My lips admire every inch to inch while I squeeze and pinch. My dear, please don't leave your hands and feet unclenched while you flinch. I search for the spot that drives you insane to burn your pains. Come on, baby, bring the internal rain to rust those suppressed chains. I practically wiggle my tongue between your legs while you pretend to be dead. I love sucking your heels and pink small egg while you softly beg, beg, beg. Instant acts of oral pleasure, bringing out the wildest action for a quick satisfaction, trying to summon inner reaction to make your climax a main attraction. Your essence digested completely as you feel my erect wine inside your pink pot extremely as we shake, dance, and moan freely while I stare into your pale white eyes, sweetie. I massage your breast while I fulfill your hidden desired request. Honey, you look so possessed while I sprint my absolute best. I'm doing multiple positions, matching your whirling and swirling situations. I'm doing crazy combination while I give you soft and bold stimulation. We're moving to a place we never explored while I bang on your door. I can't wait to see what's in store while I break your burning core. I'm quickly picking up the pace to win this erotic expedient race, feeling your hair on my face while our minds and heart get erased. I can feel your dam getting ready to burst while I quench my thirst, loving when you're about to squirt while you repeat the same verse. You paint the sheets while we spread out in a sweaty defeat. Honey, do you love your midnight treat that made us feel more complete? The sun flickering in our eyes while we bask in the azure skies. Our moody clouds die while we sleep over the passing fireflies. Thank you.
Ed Poetastic. You dirty, dirty boy. Where can the people find you online, brother?
You can find me at Eddie Foreman on Facebook, and you can find me at Ed Foreman92 on IG. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to sign in my post-decade insight. So everyone have a good night, and I hope to see you some more sexual frights. Oh, I have a open mic on the Mitch Salon at June 18th. So please show some support. I'll make it worth. I make it what's worth.
Thank you, Ed. Ed Poetastic. Make sure you put your information in the chat. For those of you who came late, make sure that you stick around to the end, because that's when I'm going to post the link so that you can sign up for our in-person open mic. June 12th, we're going to be rocking out outside. I'm going to post the link about in another hour or so is when it's going to go live, so make sure you stick around. Next up is Ray Jane. I love me some Ray Jane. I don't love the fact that she hit me up at the last minute about the meetup on Instagram. You know, I mean, it's not like Ray Jane has my number or anything, so she has to. Oh, wait, no, Ray does have my number. With that being said, Ray, let the people know where they can follow you, and let's hear your poetry.
You know, I'm really glad you got that out. You know? You know how we feel. You know that. Stop that. All right. You can follow me at It's Ray Jane. I'm on Instagram, and also you can find all my content on itsrayjane.com. I got 2 for y'all. New shits. The first one is called Sketching You. All the loveliest things come to an end, crashing in bits for the hell of it, rubbing salt in, besmirching their elegance, painting themselves in calamity to gather interest. A wild thing to watch, a thing discovering itself in the wild. I look at you and crack smile. I invite the tears that illustrate your weight in my heart. No words will suffice, but I pray this resembles a start, but stands defined enough to muffle my bluffs, tall, like Bonaparte, but loving from this abstract heart, arguing that a sketch is still art. And the next one is called When Last I Soared. Third eye split in two, so my view is at least quadratic. Wandering mind, I think I'm nomadic on average. I'm scattered, fragment, tumbling toward complete, sometimes rolling over backward. My sideways bend straight and extend my journeys into dog days, I must say. The learning has helped shorten the leash of need to escape. Finding free in every landscape, expanding mind to put me in peace in all space. Hips setting to my pace, I feel myself taking shape, a glory to wield this grace. Though it didn't hurt to come equipped with also the likes to serve face. To plate these features, they'd have to knock more than nose off to erase the contours of this originalness, these original tresses stretching across the equator, belting earth with this eternal worth. I ready myself to give birth, raise my own self from baby to trauma-free, molting, excuses not to extend these wings, stepping out on the ledge of me, hopping at branches tipped to amp myself to elevate the possibility of flight, raise its amplitude, stepping off lest redwoods of doubt. Now twigs I begin to lift, contort my body like aware of what it was made for, flying, but instinctively I soar toward water, but fear lays dormant until I peak, replacing air with lying olives in my beak. I remain addicted to shore. No matter the wonder, I can't unknow that I now know what I never could before. And when the fears again commence their roar, I recall the freedom in the breeze when last I soared. Thank you.
Ray Jane, you can check her out at itsrayjane.com. Make sure you go. She's got like over 60 or 70 recorded poems, so you could go hear that again. All right, just don't exchange your number with her because she's not going to use it. She's going to hit you up at the last second. I got to get on Ray Jane. It's rayjane.com. Make sure you go check this woman out. She is fire. And my boy Fish Vargas, who doesn't like anyone. He is not a conceited poet, but he is an obnoxious audience member, but he's from New York and he's heard a lot of good poems. And he said, damn, he liked Ray Jane. So you know Ray's doing something right. It's rayjane.com. Just don't become friends with her. She won't invite you to the party to the last second. Un mismo Hitgar is next. He wasn't on Monday. He is out in India. I was worried about him. I'm glad to see him. And while other people were performing Umesh, I guess you were doing stuff in your room and it looked like you were pulling things out of the sky. It looked awesome. Umesh, let the people know where they can find you online and let's hear it, brother.
Hey, thanks, Advocate. Thanks a lot. And you can find me on Unmesh Mohitkar IG and Facebook. I have got a book, Light Shadow Life, on Amazon, and I have got an open mic as well, Saturday, 8 p.m. India time. But yes, let's go to the poem. The first one is a short one and a bit longer one. Next one. Bombs, bullets. They engaged in expensive war. Bombs, bullets, they engaged in expensive war. Loving was easy, but hearts disengaged. Loving was easy, but hearts disengaged. And the second one, it's called Happiness is a Fraud. Happiness is a fraud, like a witch casting a spell, never-ending mirage, enchanting beauty, making you run after her like crazy. You are not alone, whole village has fallen in love with her. She seduces you, you lust for her. In return, never-ending craving, never-ending wanting, yes. Happiness is a fraud, like a mission in a computer game. You achieve one to unlock others, live many deaths to unlock one, just to get to the next mission, called next level of happiness, asking for more lives, more deaths. And once you win the game, they ask you to give it all up. The moksha, now you fight for your next mission, to give it all up. Yes, happiness is a fraud. All the big shot millennials who in your eyes have got it all and then left it all, not for moksha or for a great cause, but to hide their money. Or is it an affair? And earn more money. Once again, I tell you, happiness is a fraud. If you are into it and happy to play the game, that is the name, the one which you can never tame. Short-lived fame, a limited edition fame, the name, the shame, flickering flame, sometimes also offered by God. Yes, happiness is a fraud. Yes, happiness is a fraud. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Unmesh Mohitkar. I love this dude and I'm loving his energy. He's getting up early. He's out in India. One more time, Unmesh, let the people know where they can find you and your recently published book.
Thanks. You can find me Unmesh Mohitkar, Facebook, IG, and I got a book, Light Shadow Life. But Advocate, please don't stop the online open mics. Please. Whatever happens, this should go on.
I got you. Unmesh Mohitkar, make sure you give him a follow. And even though we're starting to do some live shows, we are not giving up the online shows. We've been doing really well with it. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, even though some of y'all don't invite me to the parties, but we still love having y'all. And hold on, I'm just finishing up an email to the new yo so we could ban Amanda Villanueva because she just said she's going to have a meetup and she's not going to invite me. I can read the chat, Amanda. Next up is Gina Nepa. Gina, let me unmute Gina. Gina, so far I've seen her perform twice, and she has said stuff that would embarrass the ears of Jesus. But we love her here. So Gina, let the people know where they can find you online, and let's hear it.
Hi, thanks for letting me still come back. My God. You can find me at Gina Antonia Poetry, and I'm doing an inspired word feature on Tuesday, which actually a couple of people here are also performing at. So really encourage everyone to show up and also sign up for slots themselves. This has been a really wild week. And so I'm reading like one of my darker pieces that's probably the hardest that I've ever written. It's called Serenity. You're forced to attend a sex and love addicts anonymous meeting at the age of 20 because so many men have destroyed your psyche that the state worries about how you may respond. The state worries that 20-year-old girls who have quite literally been ripped apart by wolves will respond in one of two ways. Cower beneath as many wolves as you can in hopes they'll become herbivores, or just maybe one day start to fight back. The problem is you alternate which path you choose based on the flavor of self-esteem that tastes the best that day. You punched a man in the neck as hard as you could in the same week that you let a man who you didn't like, who you'd never like, stick his fingers inside you in a public bathroom. If you make someone else feel good briefly, does that mean you don't deserve to feel as bad? If you make someone else feel powerful briefly, will they kindly drug you to get rid of your sad? At a certain point, you couldn't figure out how to make the wolves stay away, so you tore open your flesh, tried to dispose of every part of your body so maybe they wouldn't smell the blood anymore. When men kept tearing you to shreds anyway, you started tearing yourself to shreds because you figured if you were the one with the weapon, at least you'd know when to anticipate the impact. This belief, this narrative rooted so deeply within your bones would serve to inform every interpersonal dynamic of your adult life. If someone didn't approach you with blades out, you brandish them on their behalf. If you decide all of them are innately bad from the start, it won't feel as bad when they confirm this for you by pushing your legs apart when you're sleeping, covering your mouth when your whimpers are too loud for their erections, pushing your head down from behind as they enter you in the hole you didn't agree to. You didn't know how hard consent could be to agree to. The problem is when you never learn the definition of something, you keep using it wrong. You don't understand that women, we're supposed to stick together and all parties are not consenting when you send their boyfriends pictures of you in your underwear, pictures of you with no underwear, text from you telling these men who couldn't care less about your dignity that you'd move mountains to have them inside you. They don't realize how inside you they've already gotten. They're too busy fucking their girlfriends, loving their girlfriends, whispering sweet nothings to these women who think that they're nothing without these male overtures. I didn't realize we were supposed to look out for women. If anything, I was helping them. Sooner or later, they would find out that the men who held their hearts in their hands were always intending to squash them. When you have your own serious relationship, beautiful and serene, as with a man who doesn't believe in weapons. He thinks wolves aren't the endangered species, but rather the species doing the endangerment. You forget he's supposed to consent to the impacts of your bad decisions. You don't realize there is a decision when you keep sending these pictures to men. You keep sending these flowery, titillating messages to men. Your body does so instinctually. How the fuck can you trust your instincts when the past 10 years have been a practice in doing everything in your power to avoid them? If someone isn't ruining your life, you accidentally try to ruin theirs. The most comfortable environment for you to be in is the one in which your body reverberates with the fracturing of safety around you. Maybe if the walls come crashing down, you won't be responsible for the repairs. When the guilt seeps in from the pictures sent to anyone and everyone, sent to the men who love the women but love your body more, sent from a girl who has a boy who couldn't love her more, you decide maybe this time I can consent to choosing to be better over choosing to be wetter. You whisper under your breath, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The meeting ends. The isolation does too. Okay, I'm done. I gotta be done.
Woo! Oh, Gina, I love it. Wait, why you muting yourself? Wait, let me unmute Gina. I love it. Gina's always like, I'm uncomfortable with my poetry. Here it is, now I'm gone. And we love it. We eat it up. Gina, one more time, let the people know where they can find you online, please.
Yes, I am Gina Antonia Poetry, and I have a feature next week. You all should come. You all should perform. Thank you.
Awesome. Gina, I love it. I love having her on. And I'm looking in the chat and people like, we're not ready. You're never going to be ready for someone like Gina. And that's why we want her here all the time. All right. The only problem Gina has is she needs to stop apologizing for her awesomeness and say, oh, thank you for being here. No, we want you here, Gina. Enough of that apology crap. All right. I believe artists in this world, we can afford to be a little more obnoxious. Well, maybe not all of us, not me, but like there are some people like Gina who's like, no, stop with that crap. You lighten it up. All right. Stop with the, oh, I'm sorry for being here. No one else is. Ron Mark Thompson is next. He always lights it up. I love this dude's energy, man. Ron, I hope you are doing well. I appreciate the smile in the back, and I appreciate that the emoji still looks like a prisoner. It's so great, especially with, I know Ron, and for all of you who see what you get online from Ron is who Ron is in person. I love this dude. Ron, let the people know where they can find you, and then let's hear your stuff, brother.
Oh, thank you. And I get my energy from you. It's great to see you on the first day. So nice that La Brua and you help out each other. And I really have to say it's the community because, when I feel down the last few days, coming to all these different events really, lifted me up. And that's what we try to do with each other. You can find me at Ron Mark Thompson on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I haven't used the sign in a long time. And Bronx Art and Fun Up at BXAFH. And I'll put that in the chat after I'm done. And what I'm going to read is something I actually wrote, like talking about community. I went to Nick P's open mic yesterday with Word is Right, and there was so many poems and stories about rainbows and happy Pride Month. So I was inspired to write these lines. I performed them yesterday, and today I doubled the poem. I added more lines to it. So here it goes. And it's the sentiment that counts. It's not perfect, but it's the sentiment. So here we go. God created Adam and Eve. And then Adam and Eve created more Adams and Eves, and Cain's and Abel's and Sophia's and Steve's. And then Joseph fell in love with Mary, and Rohara started going out with Harry. Romeo fell in love with Juliet, but that wasn't much of a palette. It became a bit boring after a while. So God added more diversity to the style. Now Hector fell in love with Victor. Donna only gave kisses to Ariana, and Dorothy preferred to be with Susanna. Then drag kings and queens came along and made the world an even happier place. They claimed their acceptance and wanted to be rightfully part of the space. Just like all the colors on the rainbow are there to represent, all shades, genders, orientations are here on earth to be meant. Indeed, such beautiful colors in the rainbow, giving even the last holdout and sour face the glow. Red as fiery as our passion, everything is now in fashion. Orange to show every gender is okay. It doesn't matter what or where you sway. Yellow as bright as the sunshine from the sky. So what if you're gay, straight, hetero, pan or bi? Green to confirm all of us come from nature, and we will surely define any hindrance by legislator. Pink may be added. Romeo may love Juliet, or maybe Julio, or Juliet transitions to Julian, or they all dance in the studio. Blue to end all sadness and closeted faces. We lift you with dozens and dozens of good praises. Violet to show that mixing is okay, it is fine. Our love never ages, just like a good wine. The rainbow is so diverse and shows so much beauty. We need to love all of that. It's our duty. So I hope my lines made you feel better tonight. May you shine in your own colors, no matter how bright. May you smile and be happy and here to stay. Happy Pride Month, everyone. This is our way. The end.
Ron Mark Thompson, love you, brother. One more time, let the people know where they can find you and the workshops you do and all that stuff. Ron got his hands in a lot of cookie jars. Go ahead, Ron.
I see so many beautiful participants here who we just met two hours ago with Diane, writing amazing poetry and prose to our Ekphrastic poetry workshop. So, and I want to say, DJ, your rainbow poem that I heard yesterday the first time and today is so, uplifting, so nice. I really appreciate it. So you can find me at Ron Mark Thompson and Bronx Art and Fun Up. Not only do I do my own workshops, but I always recommend other organizations, workshops, and again, support each other. This is how we're going to get out of this pandemic mess, out of this, world, to make the world a loving place. Thank you, Advocate. Thank you, Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate everyone.
Ron Mark Thompson, make sure you give that dude a follow. And I know I say this all the time. Every time we're celebrating a month, Black History Month, Women's History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, and now the LGBT community. For me, it's always weird because it's like, we celebrate that damn near every time we have an open mic on the New Yo, right? We don't like all of these events. They're not, these special months, they're not for us. They're for people who are like outside or don't have access to the culture, right? Like, I have never been gay, totally heterosexual. But I'm born and raised in New York City in the art community. You can't throw a stone more than 5 feet without running into someone in the LGBT community, right? Like you need to be a hermit, man. You know, like how I guess I get so upset that we have like that we're so divisive over ridiculous things. You know, the only thing we should be divisive over are Met fans and Red Sox fans and Packers fans. There's something wrong with you people. Other than that, all right, let's keep going. In about another hour, I'm going to post that link for the June 12th show so you could sign up and come and hang out with us in person. You can see that I actually have legs. I promise you I do. And June 12th is Whitney Salgado's birthday. She may come out. I'm trying to get her to come out. She did the drawing of me. Instead of her mailing it to me, I'm telling her this could be a really expensive and time-consuming way of bringing it to me, right? That's what she should do. And I already know, I don't know Whitney very well, but I know her well enough to know that if she had a get-together, she wouldn't tell me at the last second. Next up, we're going to hear some music from Bill Elkins. Bill, let the people know where they can find you online, and then let's hear your music, brother.
Hey, how's it going, Advocate of Words? My name is Bill Elkins, hashtag Midwestern Bill, Instagram. I'm going to do an original. It's entitled My Lady from Manila. I hope you like it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Effervescent, loving and refined, my lady from Manila enraptures me. Her poise, laughter and style would transfix anyone as they did me. A nurse by profession, she's my Florence Nightingale. She's my lover and best friend, you see. She stands by me through all circumstances thick and thin, but will call me out when she thinks best. La 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. A classical music aficionado, my lady from Manila turned me on to Mahler's symphony. I shared my love for opera, taking you to Tristan and Isolde at Covent Garden. Our mutual passion for music deeply connects us to each other and to the world around us as a whole. We celebrate this passion wherever we may go, be it LA, Chicago, Paris, or Berlin. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Keenly perceptive, both the right and true. My lady from Manila, she gleans wheat from the chaff. She's my lighthouse in my harbor. She guides me through disillusion as we live for ourselves. She challenges my thinking, helps me see things as they are, not as I always deem them to be. My lady's name is Rosita, and we're a match made here on earth. She's my inspiration for living each and every day. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Thank you, everybody.
Bill Elkins, and I love the reverb on there. We felt like we're at a concert hall. One more time, Bill. Where can we find you online, brother?
Midwestern Bill, hashtag Midwestern Bill on Instagram.
Thank you, Bill Elkins, Midwestern Bill. Love it, love it. He's wearing a Dodgers hat. I'm not mad at the Dodgers. I'm not mad at them at all, man. They used to be in Brooklyn, it's New York, and I love Trevor Bauer. Oh, I love that dude. All right, let's not get into that now. We got to keep it moving because I'm gonna be stuck here. Also, I just found the button that's going to allow everyone to send private messages to each other, because I know they had some, for some reason it had been turned off, but I turned it on. So if you guys want to talk behind your back, plan another meetup without me, you can. Generalissimo, let the people know where they can find you online. Let's hear your poetry, brother.
Okay. Just put everything in the chat. It's Generalissimo Brian Franco on Facebook. It's GNRLSMO on Instagram. On the 22nd of this month, which is a Tuesday, I'm going to be featuring at Port Veritas in Portland, Maine on Zoom. And I put all that information in the chat, but we can't, for some reason, we can't save the chat, but I'm sure Advocate will figure it out before the end of the night. But anyways, just go to their Port Veritas Facebook page and find the event page. But let's go ahead and read you a couple poems. And the first is a brand new haiku. There is such a thing as a perfect day until something wrong happens. The second poem I just wrote this afternoon, it's called We Are All Born as Pugilists. We fight and we fight, we punch and we punch. Sometimes we think we have wrapped our hands and put on gloves to look down, only to bear witness to bare knuckles. Sometimes there is no punching bag in front of us. There is just air. There is nothing in front of us for our fist to connect with, yet the empty before us feels like punching a brick wall. We exit our mother's wombs kicking and screaming. We are born fighting to enter this world. Some of us continue to fight the rest of our lives. We don't understand why we must always fight. Sometimes we don't realize we are fighting when we think we are just breathing and surviving. We allow bullies and abusive bosses and lovers to narrate our truths with psychological and chemical warfare. They speak the language of mustard gas with words that burn through our self-esteem. For some of us, the act of waking up includes installing brass knuckles into our vocal cords so our words become weapons of mass protection. For some of us, our silence is self-flagellation for allowing others to guide our pens with which we write. So we must relearn to wrap our hands and again wear the gloves we were born wearing when we kicked and screamed our way into this world, so we don't have to write our futures with our gloves on. Gracias, everyone.
Generalissimo, brother, it's been a while since I've heard you. I missed you, man. I don't know you've been on Monday nights, but
it's hard to get on the list sometimes, Bubba.
Yo, it takes like a whole minute now, for a whole 3 minutes now for the list to fill up. I don't know what you're talking about, man. But real quick, one more time, let the people know where they can follow you. So if they don't see you on Mondays, they know where to find you.
I'm gonna put it all back in the chat again. Control V, enter. It's Generalissimo Brian Franco on Facebook, and then it's GNRLSMO on Instagram.
Thank you, brother. Generalissimo, I'm happy to hear him, man. I start to get attached to you guys, and then if I don't hear you from you for a while, I start to feel like, upset and offended, as if you're having to get together and not inviting me. Thomas Connor is next. Let me unmute this brother, and I appreciate him, even though he is a Mets fan, because he would invite me out. Thomas, let the people know where they can find you online, and let's hear your poetry.
You're absolutely right. I would invite you out to see a Met game. Definitely. You walked into that one, homie. All right. So this I was supposed to perform on Monday, but I didn't finish it, so I did something else. But I'm going to perform it now because I got a chance to finish it now. War. What are you to me? Death. What am I to you? Nothing. Would you consider me righteous? Should I just trust where you have chosen where to march to? Why there? Why them? Why me? Why us? This scattered chaos. I remember when we met, the letter you sent requesting me, telling me I can be all that I can be, but really, no choice. I went unwillingly. You greeted me with a knock at my door, hat under my arm, frigid stare, intense glare, fear at first, then buying in. I thought it would be glorious to be courageous. Yet instead, we became minions to enforce your politics by other means. We, now one big self. So who do I place my faith in? This great evil, masking itself in the shape and in the make of glory. Do we run to it or should we run from it? I guess no glory in that. They want us dead in their line. How did itself steal itself into this world? What seed, what root that robs us of light and life? Patriotism these days are way too flaccid. All these men have one face. We are all one big self, thrown all together, looking for salvation, yet do nothing but war against ourselves. I guess mass suicide makes for glorious diatribes as we try to contrive excuses to why we falter in our humanity. Do we even taste victory? Or is it better than living in pain with no glory? We exchanging palms for bombs. Johnny's got his gun while nobody watches. He is the Jeremy of his generation with stripes and stars on his chest and arms. The hard part is we have to make tough decisions. We have to make tough decisions. And we are just children.
Oh, what a way to end it. What an awesome poem. Thomas Connor. Damn, brother. Yo, let the people know one more time where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me at Facebook, Thomas Connor, and on Instagram, TAC7371. Thank you, man. Thank you for, I like to mess with you. I like to mess with you, man. But yo, listen, man, if you're a New York fan, it don't matter. Yes, us New Yorkers go back and forth, but we're always New York, man, no matter whether the Yankees are win or the Jets or the Giants or whatever, man. It's all love to all of them. Real talk.
Now only if the Knicks could win. Oh my God, I wish.
Don't talk, yo. I don't even want to talk about the Knicks right now. I want to stick my head in an oven right now. But
all right, yeah. Thomas Connor, appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Peace.
Y'all got me feeling all types of vulnerable that even if he asked me to a Mets game, I would go. The only one asking me out. Okay, so Sarah Erin's supposed to be next, but she's not here. I don't know why. I haven't seen her in a while. She signed up a couple of times and didn't show up. I hope all is well with Sarah. She's an awesome poet. But now we're gonna go with Paul Conqueso all the way out in New Jersey, and he's going to be teaching a class for the New Year. Wait, was I allowed to say that, Paul? Spoilers?
It's kind of still not official, but sure, do it. Sure, fuck it.
All right, if it's not official, I don't want to say it. Just like my invite wasn't official. All right, Paul, let the people know where they can find you and let's hear your poetry.
You could find me at advocateissalty.com. No, I'm kidding. Brother, we got you on the next time. On the 12th, you're coming out with us. We're all just moving as a movement, as a fucking storm cloud, right? Because Storm God's in the building. All right, Voltron Rising. And I'm going to get started, I guess, because, you know, yo hablo muchito. My octopus teacher. My PTSD throws out the real. Hey, so are you sure you want to send that text? Sure you're saying exactly what you intend to say in that poem? What if everyone you know misreads your intent? What if your leg gets caught again in this glistening, sharpened razor teeth trap you step in? What if you end up projecting rejection with merely disease and disorder as your personal three-way of defeat? Because remember 5th grade, when you moved from Newark to the quiet, shittier, lesser step cousin of a suburb next door, and all the girls at school number 4 had this huge collective crush on you? chasing you across playground, kicking your shins, and singing songs about you outside your window, yet because you'd never been complimented or paid attention to, or called anything but quiet, chubby, and ugly, you interpreted this as some grand cosmic trick, a low-key, Loki, god of mischief illusion, throat slit embrace. Feeling in your core it was just some elaborate form of fifth grade girl, fruity and high caliber Jedi mind trick, slow burn bullying, that because of what happened to you 2 years earlier, you never thought anyone would find you alive again, find you desirable, found you only while shrouded in dark and alone. And so that became your default mode, or so to speak in computer speak, because PTSD is a virus, if nothing else, placed in safe mode, where you repress the bad, where you dissociate, where your desirable wasn't rewarded, rather twisted, contorted, and turned some perverse form of self-sadism because you never felt safe in being wanted. So of course you fucking sabotage. You over-explain, you drive people away, you say the wrong thing at the absolute worst time, you step full fucking foghorn leghorn, Conor McGregor strut into the teeth of that gleaming trauma trap, set to cut you in half, only you do it yourself. And as they respond to your lack of response, you begin to gnaw off your own lower half, a 10-year-old's rendition of 127 hours, where you devour every socially acceptable part of you, become sobbing mess in the midst of crowded classroom, the boy who cried boy, because all you desired to be was you, but allowed to express such things. So when that elegy turned on self, survival became response. Your traumas thrash like tiger sharks hooked on the line, trying to drag the boat down with your powerful dorsal fin, because you'll be fucking fish feed before you go up with the ship again, never to be pulled on land, gills crying for wet. You are held on bed of oxygenated mutilation. You thrash yourself dry, yet you learn. People hate when you do such things. It is not healthy, this flailing, failing to recognize. No one prizes the shark with a missing fin, so you grow a bit. Open up to opening your heart, and you can for some time. They loosen the line, and for a while you forget entirely. You are still tethered to the traps of your memory, buried deep as the recesses you tried to wall off to keep that flailing boy safe, and so your coping mechanisms make everything joke. Even your violations, plural, even your dead mother, dead friends, push me to the edge. Even your suicidal ideations, even your empty threats at getting better, being whoever you'd be if you weren't tied to this trauma identity. Who or what does that look like? You, freed of such things. Surely, I mean, triggers do not ever just entirely dissipate, but what if you put the safety on? Would that break your bond with trauma, with PTSD, the only thing that embraced me when no one could understand or know what you were going through? For so long, I didn't believe my worth was much worth anything. Awards, attention, compliments. I became octopus with tentacles ripped off one by one like flower petal wishes by triggered sharks which wished to bring harm. So when any compliments came, I would hard stop, deflect, or cut and run in the other direct. And even as a wounded boy cosplaying grown man in his 20s, stumbling through a whole ass marriage where his limbs never even held the space or suction to tell his wife that he was a survivor too. Thought I'd kick my slow suicidal habits with bulimia, but it seems I'd been depriving self of other forms of nourishment too. Both the shark feeding on limbs and the octopus. Somehow my self-consumption consumed me too, and even in my poetry, my worth seemed intertwined with bombasticity, with how much I could bleed on stage, and not always honesty. Turn up the drama, please. If I unlatch those violent responses, what is left of me? Entropy, or an empty being, so much that when I finally became gutted shark levels of open wide, my own appendages spilling out from me on ship's deck, I did not know what to do with all the empathy responses of I relate. Me too. I appreciate your transparency. And shit, sometimes it's still a mission for me just to accept being called a storm god, a headliner, a leader, a real human being, no longer hobbling on crutches, because PTSD doesn't get to be the beast that feeds on me anymore. And even when those times come, we gnaw off parts of us. We learn we are uniquely resilient and regenerative creatures, that like an octopus, we can regrow our limbs and retrain our minds to see the refracted light, that so many glimpses of who we can be exist beyond the surface world of breath we feared for so long, that there is no one now waiting to harm us on the edge of that bed or ship, that the only trap set is the one which happens when we don't value ourselves as much as the rest of this world that exists and breathes, that very much so desires and sees just how much we can bring to it, and how megalodonic of a shame it would be if we ever ceased to persevere past all these tricks this god of mischief tries to play on us to make us feel not alive, not worthy, not with want to be seen. That just like any skilled fisherman, we find there are some responses we can somatic catch and release. And yes, I have lived with PTSD, but I also get to decide from time to time whether or not it gets to live with me.
Paul Con Queso. You can find him on the social medias at Paul Con Queso. Thank you, Paul. You want to let the people know, like we not saying nothing official, but what date should they hold?
Maybe the middle of July, around the 17th. And also maybe around June 13th, if you are a man in need of a support space, I'm starting a space called Men Who Heal. So if y'all want to come out for that.
Make sure, thank you, Paul. Make sure you go follow Paul Con Queso. And I had to make sure that he told us ahead of time and not at the last second, so you don't miss out, because he was part of that group. Speaking of that group, it's Andy Markert. Where is Andy? I saw him. Wait, I saw Andy. Oh, there he goes, waving over there. You know, like 6 weeks ago, Andy told me that he was going to be leaving New York and he wanted to have a get together, but then he didn't tell me right before it happened. So go ahead, Andy. I guess you could let the people know where they can find you online, and then I guess we'll listen to your poetry. Go ahead.
That sounds fantastic. Y'all can find me online at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's. You can see it in the bubble below my face. It is the one Instagram account Advocate doesn't check the messages from when I tell him there's a party going on 3 hours before it starts. All right, hi, I'm in a new place. Can you all hear me? Can I get a thumbs up to make sure the acoustics in this room don't suck?
We hear you. We hear you loud and well. Maybe you should have hit me from I would have heard you for the invite.
I'm sure. All right. So, you know, oh, fuck, how do I follow that? All right. I decided to do something completely different, and tonight you guys get a piece of unbridled fucking smut coming straight from me, which is not something I normally write, so get pumped. Special call out to Paul Con Queso, the Fuego, for the words thunderfuck. So here we go. This poem is called Be Careful What You Wish For. Expectation drips off of adrenaline-soaked fingers as bodies crash into objects around the room. I told you before we left, I thought what you were wearing was beautiful, but I didn't finish the thought that you won't be wearing it for long. Don't worry. I promise it will look just as fantastic on the floor. I plan your outfits by the color of my carpet, and I know what lace looks good on this hardwood. I'd hurry up and get it off before I rip it off. Learned a long time ago that fabric is replaceable in the face of my desire. Soft whimpered fuck as my body stiffens, and I wonder if you'll make it to morning moaning. This is my marathon, not my quick race, and it's been so long. I take my time. We both know. You didn't stretch enough this morning, and no amount of early morning yoga is gonna namaste this oh god fuck right out of your body. And together we'll find new poses to let my enlightenment shine in, because downward dog is just an appetizer and not the meal. Hands press apart thighs, nails dig in, soft skin stretched wide just beyond the point of comfort. Lips, teeth, tongue find clit like this is my new favorite toy now. As I begin the count of 1, 2, 3 times your body gushes, my eyes meet yours to say I won't stop until that shake in your thighs goes all the way down to your toes. This might not be thunder fucking lightning eyes on a slow afternoon Sunday thunderstorm. This is tidal wave tsunami, picking up the heaviest of your preconceived notions and expectations to toss them around your bedroom. Because you'll be rebuilding the architecture of your arousal once I wash away the average. Passing is great. You will not end where you began. Bodies surfing waves of pleasure before you realize this is still foreplay. Begin to hold on for dear life to palm tree in your mind as that wave takes you. It's okay. Your body is still going to end up wrapped around something hard in the end. Hold on to what you need to. Because no amount of sage is ever going to chase the spirit of me from this place, and your bed will become more shrine than crime scene, even if you'll always know the outline of my body in your mattress when someone else is sleeping there. And in the corner of your mind, you'll construct the memorial in memoriam of the time you laid to rest, the idea I couldn't absolutely fuck the soul out of your body and into the sheets, which you will burn in secret offering on an altar of desire and hopes to make me come again, because no amount of detergent is going to wash away this sin. And trust me, you do not want God to be watching. She might get some ideas on what you can take. You tell me you've got anxiety, baby. I'll pound that skeleton clean of the demons that reside inside you. Let my throb reach into places you thought only God could touch. Synthesize your focus off the music because the only sound you'll hear is the pulse pounding in your ears. Throw that ass back, make it clap. We both know I'm not trying to do all the work here. Finger grip, taut rip, hair around my knuckles and yank, find that exquisite arch. You'll swear you can see the light, or maybe it's just the glare of the sunrise reflecting off the sweat in your eyes. Oh my, that's it, let it out, that yell. Don't worry about your roommate now. I promise I'll pay their therapy bill when I decide it's morning. Rolling leg, here I come, walking that tightrope edge as I whisper, did you order the deluxe now? Because there's so much more we can work with for round 2. Because my thickness is a full fucking meal, not a snack. Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it.
Andy Markert, you find him at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's. At the end, he leaves New York City and he becomes filthy. All right.
Real quick. Come see my feature on June 27th on that Sunday at 2:30. I'll throw the information in the chat.
Oh, you're telling people way ahead of time. Good job, Andy. Good job.
Yeah.
Andy Markert, follow him at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's at the end. Love this dude, man. And usually, like, he's very vulnerable. So for him to get all, like, you know, cocky and dirty is a new side of him. All right, getting out of New York was good for you. Not hitting me up earlier to come hang out with you was bad. Nisa is next. Nisa is a mainstay here on the Thursday night online open mic. She doesn't like us Monday kids. What can I say? Hi, Nisa. Let the people know where they can follow you online if you have a social media. And then let's hear your poetry.
I'll put my Instagram in the chat after I'm done. It has a lot of underscores, but so as well as being illegal in 71 countries for being gay and having many arson allegations, I've committed mass murder on parrots. So me and an online friend, Inex, we're playing Minecraft as one does, and there's this feature where you can make little Minecraft parrots dance after taming them using a jukebox and playing music. So we start building a parrot dance floor. We spawn in some parrots, and Nex asked me, hey, can you tame these parrots? When there was no response from me, they asked again. No response. I thought they asked if I could hang these parrots. I was kind of horrified. They repeated a couple times where I just kind of stared off into confused murder silence. So I take a deep breath. I shrug. I pull out a sword. There were 64 parrots spawned that day. And the next thing that Nex knew when they were seeing in the chat area, parrot was killed by Nisa 64 times. Those were innocent parrots. They weren't even like jerk or homophobic parrots. Anyway, by listening to this, you've signed a verbal contract not to tell the police. Moral of the story, be gay, do crime. Happy Pride Month. Thank you.
What an ending, Nisa. That was awesome. I love the way you ended it. And a little known fact, my son got me hooked on Minecraft. I love it. Now I'm looking up like these people doing Minecraft. I'm even following Hermitcraft. If you don't know what that is, check it out. You'll waste a lot of time online. Nisa, one more time. Do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yes.
What did you want to say it audibly so that the people...
Underscore Nisa underscore TY underscore.
Awesome. Nisa, thank you very much. Appreciate you. That was Nisa. She's a mainstay here in the Thursday night online open mic. She is here every week, but she avoids Mondays like the plague. Just the way people avoid inviting me to go hang out. I still see you, Ray Jane. You're in the corner of my eye. I see you. Okay, next coming up is Roz from the Bronx.
Hey, y'all. Oh, shit.
Yep. I can hear you, Roz.
Oh, okay.
Roz is all like...
Stand up a storm. Okay. Because I can't hear y'all for a second. All right. So this piece is called Rebirth and shit. Through Her Big Brown Eyes, IG. I always forget. Anyway, Rebirth. Never quite understood my fear of death until I realized it was in direct correlation with my fear of rejection. Hands trembling, unsteady, heart feeling heavy because I always wondered if I'd make the cut. Even in another dimension, is my soul good enough? Among other things, my church taught me fear and how to apologize profusely for being human. I was taught to be a proud, God-fearing woman, but how could any type of love be labeled as wrong? Why is my body considered a temple if I cannot share it in the name of love? Why are some types of unions considered forbidden if love is blind? If with him, instead of losing myself, I find a better version, and the harder I love him, the brighter I shine, why not call him mine? Sometimes I question you, because what kind of God would let the world be as it is without some sort of intervention? Almighty, where are you now? I guess some things are beyond my comprehension. The dark cloud forms above me and the enemy suggests that I run away from you and straight into his arms. The darkness calls out for me with the flirtatious charm, the enemy hoping I give in. But stronger than any doubt, shame, or sin, you come swooping in. You make your presence known, and suddenly I feel like I'm home. I take a deep breath, look up at the sky, and a breeze caresses my face as if to say, I got you. Suddenly my fear of rejection dissipates. I'm not dead yet. I feel rebirthed and renewed in faith. Redemption is the acceptance of the idea of being born again. How refreshing is the thought that every single day we can choose to ascend. End poem.
Ooh, Roz representing the Bronx through herbigbrowneyes.com and on Instagram through her big brown eyes. And I think I saw a flyer somewhere that you're featuring alongside La Bruja.
Yes. Oh, that's another one. So it's the Sharing the Same Sky with the Hostos Project. That's coming up starting on the 4th. Then next Friday, and then the Friday after that. And then on The Word is Right, June 12th, with Prada. So it's a lot going on.
All right, you in
It all
demand
takes-
now.
yeah.
You a celeb now. Soon enough, we're gonna be like, yo, where's Roz? She too big for that internet stuff, man.
Nah, I love y'all. I love y'all.
Through herbigbrowneyes.com and at through her big brown eyes on Instagram. Thank you, Roz, representing the Bronx. I'm a little partial to the Bronx because I'm born and raised in the Bronx. All right, next coming up, we got Miro, who did the opposite of Andy, and she moved into New York. There we go. And she would also probably do the opposite of Andy and let me know more than 24 hours in advance if she's having a meetup, okay? And that's because Miro accepted my proposal and will one day marry me. Go ahead, Miro. Let them know where we can find you online and let's hear your poetry.
I certainly did accept your proposal, but notice how I did not invite you to the thingy because...
Wait, what thingy? There was no thingy. There was a thingy?
There was a thingy on Saturday, and I wrote a poem about it, and I'll dedicate it to you, and I'm going to read it, but you're not in the poem.
So there was a thingy, and you didn't invite me. I haven't used the mute button in a while, and I just muted Miro. I haven't used it in a long time. All right, like, how you going to do that to me? All right, let me unmute her, because we do have to hear her poetry. My future wife doing me dirty already. Get ahead, Miro.
Nobody holds a grudge quite like you, Advocate. My God. Okay, so I'm on Miro Reads Books. I'm on IG Miro Reads Books. And I wrote 2 poems, or I'll share 2 poems. One of them, if some of you were at Barbed Wire on Monday, then you will have heard my first piece. And then my second piece is one that I wrote like a couple weeks ago, didn't like it, kind of reworked it today, so it's still pretty fresh. So the first one is called 3 Poets. This one's for you, Advocate. Okay. Three poets walk into a Mexican restaurant at 11 a.m. and hash out their trauma over a browning bowl of chips and guac. It was like we've known each other this whole time, and we turned that corner of the eatery into a church support group therapy, talking about how every choice we've ever made brought us here to this place. Questions asked, ideas exchanged, minutes melting into hours, and we never noticed under the blare of a random playlist, three poets found an oasis on a very cold day in May in Prospect Place, BK. And second one is called I Just Realized. I just realized my body carries every memory, everything said and unsaid, every action, decision, regret, and triumph, every judgment, dirty thought, and comeback made, every brilliant idea lost in the ether, every feeling experienced within and across the surface of my skin. I carry every kiss, every touch, warm embrace, and magic moment. I carry every time my heart skipped, stomach fell, face went white, every nauseous feeling, cold sweat, state of panic. I carry every time I had to make myself smaller to appease you, every time I cowered when you yelled, every time I faced that overwhelming, what have I done? I carry a brief lifetime, and it's shaped how I walk, quickly as if trying to keep ahead of a rapidly expanding sinkhole, how I balance the load, a little hunched, trying not to let you see the struggle. My body knows, it remembers, it's a hoarder, insisting on saving it all in clunky file cabinets, alphabetical, so mortifying memories can easily bubble to the surface during moments of stillness. If I want to lighten my step, I must create new neurons, fight the demons and things long forgotten, spend time that'll pass anyway on uprooting the bindweed, preventing my growth so that existence doesn't have to be such a chore. I just realized I've never humaned before, and where, please show me, does it say one must suffer to be somebody, that life needs to be this heavy? Thanks.
That was Miro. You can find her on Instagram, Miro Reads Books. It reads like Miro Reads Books. Well, it doesn't read like that. It looks like that. And can they still get the book, Love Letters to Gaia?
Yes, our dear Mr. Sindler has done such a great job of promoting Love Letters to Gaia that I feel like I don't even need to do it anymore. Love Letters to Gaia is on Amazon, of course. You can get it. The money goes not to us, 350.org, which is an awesome organization, environmental organization. So I'll put the link in the chat. Thank you guys. And tonight has been amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, Miro. Make sure you go check her out, Miro Reads Books on Instagram. And I think this is only like her second time on a Thursday night. So that's what's up. I'm glad that I got to see her because I haven't seen her in a while. My future wife. I'm gonna need a divorce lawyer though, because you see how mean she is. This show has been recorded for evidence in the courtroom, but also for your pleasure. If you want to, make sure you're following the Nuyorican Poets Cafe on Facebook and YouTube, so you can rewatch tonight's open mic, you can rewatch past open mics from Thursday night and Monday nights as well, and other events that the Nuyo has done. So make sure you're following Nuyorican Poets Cafe on Facebook and on YouTube. Cinda Lawrence is next, and if I'm not mistaken, Cinda started out with Monday night online open mic, but then she became a Thursday kid and she has never come back. We never see her anymore. She tells us that she's working, but I know Cinda's the type of person that would go hang out and not let you know or tell you at the last second. So Cinda, let the people know where they can find you online and let's hear your poetry.
Up to no good as usual. Love it. Every single part of being human, I felt tonight. Every single part. I was like, man, you guys, you're killing me. It's so good to see you. And it's good to see you, Advocate. The first one, two poems. The first one is The Stare. This is if you ever have thought you were alone, but you were not. So this is The Stare. I walk on air in the park, feeling ever so breezy, till my eyes land on a face that makes me uneasy. The man has done nothing but ponder and gaze. So why am I anxious, a wee bit afraid? His stuff in a bag, his clothes ragged and dirty, I perceive in my mind he could be around 30. His eyes do not wander, but at me only stare. I feel somewhat rattled. I didn't know he was there. He means me no harm. His eyes do not waver. What can I learn from his simple behavior? I feel pissed at myself for judging this fellow who speaks not a word, a sigh, or a bellow. A mere screening of me, what could be ruder than to label this man as some kind of intruder? My own eyes wander and settle on zillions of sights, most subjects of nothing, neither fear nor delight. Surrounded by strangers, whether sister or brother, what are my rights and those of the other? You live in a world quite harsher than mine. Your eyes may be tired, perhaps even kind. Instead of annoyance at a moment you took, a gift I could give you is a long silent look, with rarely an answer to how humans behave. Most we never will meet from birth until grave. With an endless array of toddlers, tyrants, and types, lessons grow stale if not picked when they're ripe. That eerie sensation when four eyes lock violates no one, even lacking a knock. Absorbed in myself, I get lost in the zone. One stare reminds me I'm not alone. I was in the park and all of a sudden I realized that this guy had been watching me forever and I thought I was alone. If you ever had that happen. And I was like, oh, the stare. The second one is one of my favorite things in the world is water. I love water for a million reasons. So this is water. Of all of life's treasures to relish and ponder, water rises in glory and makes my heart fonder. Drops in the shower pound on my back, falling with joy ahead of the pack. Flowing and sparkling, sliding and dripping. It's sex before breakfast, it's honey tea sipping. It cleanses and bubbles, it quenches dry thirst. Green leaves are budding, new seeds race to be first. I inhale its freshness, so clear and so pure. I swim through its juices, alive to my core. A partner with summer, it's a joy to behold. Hot bears frolic and delight in its cold. It freezes, it melts, it trickles low down my spine. Wrapped in its motion, freedom is mine. Soapy and sensual, all cares washed away. My eyes fill with wonder as it bounces and plays. It rushes and flows, bubbles and rages, in puddles and tides, living all of its stages. Teardrops dying and waking in the wink of an eye, always another falling down from the sky. It knows of its might in cyclones and floods, drenching the earth, it brings treacherous mud. Oceans and rivers, inlets and streams, its mystery hypnotic beyond any dream. One tiny jewel, a mere second in time, it needs billions of pals to render a crime. The beat of its heart lies in not one but many. Like us with our money, there's no force in a penny. The fish and the coral are wiser than man. They soak in its roar, obey its commands. Its levels will rise, with wind comes its fury. It splashes through time with nary a worry. It cares not for the future or where it might end. It lives only for now with its glistening friends. Light hits it with sparkles and angels appear, singing with laughter. Don't worry, I'm here.
Cinda Lawrence, I miss hearing you, Cinda. I'm so happy I got to host tonight and hear you tonight. Let the people know where they can find you online, please.
I make you thirsty? Yeah. I will. I'll put my stuff in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone. I am so moved. I can't even say by you all. I'm so humbled and moved every time. Oh, thank you. Mwah. And I love you, Advocate. I'm sorry I missed Monday, but I love you.
Thank you, Cinda. I appreciate that.
I love you. Mwah. So thank you. Thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you, Cinda Lawrence. Make sure you put your info in the chat so the people can follow. Okay, so Joski had to bail out, so I have Tanish and GK Jairam who are next, who are going to round out the guaranteed list in about another 15 minutes, I am going to post the link for the open mic we are having in person on 3rd Street between Avenue A and B. But right now we are going to Tanish. I hope I'm saying the last name right. Kaur. Let's see if I said it right. Tanish Kaur is my first time. Did I say it right?
You did.
Awesome, awesome. So have you ever been on the Thursday night online open mic?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. You just don't hang out with me on Monday. Oh, I see. Because I host on Monday, and you're like, nah. So you must have been real disappointed when you saw me tonight. I get it, Tanish. It's been one of those nights for me. Let the people know where they could find you online, and then let's hear your poetry.
TanishCantos.com. And my poem is called Clearing the Other Disease, This Other Disease. Hindu nationalism, anti-humanism, white power in a different color, another religion, language, God's gifts to humankind, used to divide, conquer, patrol like trolls. A disease you can't control, not without a heart anyway, or love, or lungs to breathe into and for the people. So Modi, lacking all these generous organs, controls the people instead, conditions them to lean on his lies, legs to trample in herds over the vulnerable while enduring their own suffering. So thunders the herd. As long as I'm stepping on someone, with someone, I'll be okay. But who is okay, really, in a nation reduced to funeral pyres? I had a skin cream from Jergens that smelled of India. This nourishing lotion drained of its last dribble, the bottle a toothpaste tube all twisted and folded up. Was such a powerful manipulator, provoker of my memory. I blacked out in my living room in San Francisco and found myself relaxing in my cousin's house in Chandigarh. Cha in hand, masala mountains through the nose. This ointment all used up, and though I've misplaced the bottle, I kept it for years because just clicking it open, taking a whiff was enough to send me over. It's nice to travel to another side of the world without moving. That dose of comfort, I'll tell you, does not smell like fire. And fire does not smell different on a Hindu body than a Muslim body. And suffering too transcends language, religion, and all people need and grieve and breathe and bleed. No, Modi's India is not just or true, but it is reality for everyone living and dying there. This should sound familiar. Strong men, straw men, sitting over a field of their own people as sturdy as hay, classless men of a disintegrating class, toxic, phallic overseers, squandering resources, fumbling dumb through a crisis, a natural disease exposing these dangerously incompetent, frightened scarecrows, unearthing age-old insecurities, social injustices, ineptitudes. That the US, that it's no coincidence, or accident that the US and India are the two most affected nations by COVID in the world. Modi, the Trump of India, Bolsonaro, Obrador, Johnson, the same, pals in a pod with devilish smiles as their countrymen burn, amused by the gasoline-covered supremacy bug they've lit, watched it spread with the other virus, delighting in the fire twinkling in the reflection of their eyes. When a people have nothing, they cling to whatever they can. Starve them of necessities, spoon feed them ancient poison, and you get civil war. Race, color, caste, religion, you get the US and India. But can anyone tell me why there and here we hear doctor and see Indian on TV and the news and hospitals, why we force feed medicine to our innocent Indian children, that it's the only way forward, and yet both nations bumble so badly through the greatest medical crisis probably of the last few hundred years. I think I'm over time, but I'm not done.
How much you got left?
A page.
All right, I give you 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. My ancestors visit me every day. The birds come to comfort me. Butterflies, hummingbirds show off to show me the beauty of nature, they come to say we're all one being. Earth's core is all of our beating heart. No one should have to sell their life's work to save their life. This corporatized vaccine exposes the sickness, what we've forgotten since we first saw and surrendered to the sun's soothing light. I do know that at our best, humanity is love. We are respectful and dignified, capable of standing in our humble power and not overpower. In our difference, we must show deference to the universe, all in and of it. Let love reign all over. Let its tears drown hate in the clearing. Leave straw men limp and impotent. Let a vaccine against COVID grow and give breath to all people. Thank you.
Tanish Kaur. Oh, I love it. One more time, Tanish, let us know where we can follow you online.
TanishKantos.com. I'm going to be a feature at for COVID relief for India on June 10th. And I'll give you guys the link when it's available. It's not available yet. But
Please do. Thank you, Tanish Kaur. That's my first time getting to hear Tanish. And she has like such a calming voice, right? Like when you're having a bad day, Tanish is the kind of person you want to call, but her poem was like so uncomfortable and hurtful, but like in a good way, right? Like in the way it's supposed to be. You know, you shouldn't be hearing the things she's talking about and feel comfortable, you know? So it's like, we have this other poet called Deadpan Lizzie, Elizabeth Strauss, where she has like this deadpan flow, but her words have so much life. And now we've got Tanish, who's got this common voice, but it's like these things that she's saying is like, it's upsetting, it gets under the skin, again, in a good way. Thank you, Tanish. First time getting to hear her, because she only comes on Thursdays, I see. I hope you come to our Monday night online open mic, which is a great segue to remind everyone that I am Advocate of Words, the host of the Monday night online open mic. We do it every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just like every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, La Bruja hosts the Thursday night online open mic. So please follow the New York. Follow La Bruja, at La Bruja NYC. When you spell Bruja, it's Bruja. For those of you not familiar with Spanish. And you can follow me, Advocate of Words. And when you spell words, that's with a Z at the end, you know, poetic license. Next up, GK Jairam. Oh, I am digging this hat, man. You are looking fly as hell, GK. Go ahead, let the people know where they can find you and let's hear your poetry.
I have no existence in the social media. I just exist. So I have a short 10 line followed by 20 lines. Rhymers needed. Heard a rumor, the town needed a rhymer. The ICUs needed humor. If I can't loaf, let me at least laugh. The tubes are not funny, my honey bunny. All the jokers were gone, the joke was on them. All the singers were gone, no one to sing requiem. At last the rhymers, before they too get lost. I hear the rhymers will get moved up for the vaccine. The next one, an afternoon of the aspiring poets. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Phyllis facilitates the flow of wit and the feast of soul in the cyberspace. On the wings of Zoom, we all merry witches fly, each on a broom. In praise we bloom, otherwise we gloom. Hey, get off my back, it's my rhyme. You go and get your own from Amazon Prime, or better still, go mime. Mime has no rhyme. Wait, there is Rodney with his solemn soliloquies. Muse comes straight from that dude on the Mount Olympus, Zeus, not to confuse with Dr. Seuss. Bearing witness, Felicia felicitates Stacy with elegant felicity, I may add, for her poetic fantasy. Observe, if you please, there is Stacy in ecstasy. If it was my parlor, I would ask, would you like a cup of tea, Katie? With sugar or honey? I myself prefer it with honey. With it, I wish for you a life funny, sunny, and yes, with lots of money. And what have we here? Lo and behold, Shantae's beams, because it seems, and get this, boys and girls, you ready? Put this in your pipe and smoke it. Shantae's is tada, maestro, the drum rolls, please. Shantae's is of Indian Sanskrit origin, which is the same as another slam poet here, who soon, I promise, will be quiet. Epilogue. In the world of mimes, there are no rhymes, but in the perfect land of rhyme, where the national herb is what else time, even the cathedral clock has its oh so cool chimes, which are after all wordless, yet perfectly sound. Say it after me, rhymes, rhymes, rhymes. Thank you, Shantae, Phyllis, Katie, Stacy, Felicia, Rod. You know, smartphones and human beings have one thing in common, one big thing. Both come alive when touched.
What a way to end that, GK Jairam. Oh, man. It's a shame he's in witness protection program, because I'd like to follow that dude on social media, but you can find him here every Monday or Thursday night. I'm happy that you got on, GK. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
GK Jairam. All right, we can get to our waiting list. And after our next poet, I am going to post the link for the open mic we're having on Whitney Salgado's birthday on June 12th here in New York City on 3rd Street between Avenue A and Avenue B. Hint, hint, Whitney, you need to come to New York City. So who I have next is a Luke, let me make sure, Kasipi or Kasipe. And I don't see Luke here, right? No Luke, no Luke, no Luke. Okay. Next I have Joshua Kernia, who's from San Francisco. I love that dude, but he's not on tonight. Yep, I don't see Joshua. Double check it. Nope, I don't know where you are, Joshua. Your ear is ringing because we're talking about you. So that means we're going to Poetic Desire. If you have not seen the highlight from the Memorial Day Monday night online open mic, you need to check it out. Poetic Desire. Her poem, I'm trying to unmute you. There we go. Her poem made it so difficult for me to edit that video because I was in literal tears. I'm in front of my computer like, I gotta edit all of this. And I was crying from just hers. Oh my God. I hope Poetic Desire, don't tell me if you've seen it yet. Just act like you have and you haven't. Go see it later. But go let
Wasn't expecting it to be posted till Monday.
Good answer. Good comeback. You saved my ego and you get to see it. I love it. Let the people know where they can find you online. Then let's hear your beautiful poetry.
Facebook, Instagram, Poetic Desire, spelled with a K, 6-word memoirs, Poetic Pisces. I will be one of the features on Saturday with Mr. Speaker at Poetic Heat this Saturday at 9 p.m. Info will be in the chat. So we'll lighten up the mood today, but I knew Monday, I can guess what your wheels were turning in your head, what you were going to use if you wanted to. So I think I could take a good guess. Anyways, this is called, because it's so late at night, Awoken from Slumber, Darkness Awaits. Awoken from slumber, I roll over to glance at a clock that reads 2 in the morn. I've come to find myself in a pitch black room as I notice not a single glare emanates from the street side lampposts. Darker than the deepest sea caverns, darker than a black hole in space, my eyes dilate in and out to adjust to the absence of illumination. A shortage of electricity for a moment gives a glimpse of what life must be like to live like the Amish. For as I tumble out of bed, fumbling through unlit claustrophobic light hallways, blindly seeing my way through the obscurity of the night, awaiting to unsuspectingly trip and fall over lingering cluttered masses which seek their dwelling amongst the floorboards. Dim-sightedly groping my way through a residence of hushed stillness, a familiar rendezvous place where family convenes begins to take shape, comes into focus, as I stroll to a nearby window in search of a single glimmer of light. As I peer through the window pane, here the pitter-patter of the rain, a steady rhythm of the dead of night's sweet lullaby, as if orchestrated on cue, plays on, accompanied by the sounds of the night. Familiar sounds secret to my senses when overshadowed by distractions in the light of day, echo loud and clear, senses now awakened, attuned to abnormal sounds which, when later processed logically in my mind, realize how normal that scary sound really is, setting my frazzled nerves at ease. Those whispering howls of the wind drifting throughout a city of slumber, the faint sound of a train's warning signal is deafening to the night owl's high-strung ear, the splashing of puddles along the road as cars cruise through on their way to work or home from those graveyard shifts, such nocturnal, mystic vibrations resound through the evening air. In the mask of darkness, I sit here, staring into the blanket of night as a flood of light seeps through the drapes, walls alit by a dance of shadows from passing headlights. Swirling images glide along the walls like a kaleidoscope of colors, a baby's nightlight of images which keeps naive minds entertained when the Sandman fails to bring sweet slumber. Denied the use of mechanical devices to light my way, to entertain my idle mind, nothing but incoherent thoughts are left to occupy my time, keeping my weary psyche company. Glancing once more through the window to a world illuminated by Mother Nature's moonlit cast skies, I find pleasure in nature's late night beauty. So let me fumble my way back to the protective comfort of my bed, surrendering to the stillness of the night as I drift back to sleep, watching the walls dancing kaleidoscope of colors, lulling me back to a world of dreams which now await to entertain my mind through the darkness till the rising of the morning sun. Good night, everyone. Let's see, he disappeared. So I guess we have to wait for Mr. Advocate to come back. What should we do? I don't know who's supposed to be next. Maybe I do. Hold on. Yeah, I'm the host. How do I do this, Nick? Since you started doing it again. All right, hold on. I think I have a list somewhere. Let's see. But then I can't unmute nobody. Oh, Complicated Passion should have been next. If he's still here, there he is. But no one can be unmuted yet. So, interesting. Let's do a little promotion of myself, DG. Should I just read one more thing for y'all until we figure this out? I have another short one pulled up for now until we can figure out, since I don't have any way to get myself out of here. Okay, hold on. I'll read one more to keep you guys entertained. Sacred voice of silence. Unspoken thoughts remain hushed, cloaked from view, sheltered underground beneath a silent fear, held sacred, dear to my heart, that words when spoken on a whim, an air of truth floating away in the wind, gets lost in translation, while words when written, stationary, within view, its meaning understood between the lines, which time has chosen with love and care, perfect words of thoughts I yearn to share. That's where the poet residing in me lies, in wait to reach your truth-seeking eyes, daring to raise your brows of confusion, awakening your mind, your heart, your soul, the ability to touch my sacred voice of silence through handmade sentiments stamped fragile, handle with care. If you dare desire to grasp this poet's true sacred voice through silent writings, speaking stationary truths, awaiting dissection from truth-seeking eyes, no longer floating on airs of spoken truth, lost in wind of chattered murmurs. All right, I don't know what we are to do, everyone. I'm not born to be a host, and I I'm the last person to be a host. I'm shy first, but I don't know you guys. Thanks, Nick. It's hard to host if I can't let y'all be a part of it. There he is. I tried, Advocate. He's back. He's back. Give him a moment.
There we go. I don't know what happened. I got booted. Did you become host?
Sort of, but I can't unmute anyone, so I
Okay.
read one more poem in there, but you're back in time.
All right, awesome. You see the 3 dots? Can you make me host?
Can I?
Yeah, the 3 dots on my name.
I only see chat and pin when I click 3 dots. I don't know that I have that ability.
The New Eurekan.
Let's see.
There we go. I don't know what's going on, man. This has been a weird night tonight. It's saying my connection is now unstable. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Weird night. Okay, did you let everyone know? Thank you for hosting Poetic Desire. I gotta hook you up for that. I appreciate that. Did you let everyone know where they could find you?
In the beginning, but I'll let them know again. Facebook and Instagram, Poetic Desire with a K, 6-word memoirs, Poetic Pisces. And I told them I think Complicated Passions was next. As I see on the list, and he should still be here, hopefully.
All right.
But I couldn't unmute him.
No. We're gonna end. Thank you. We were about to end it, but since you call Complicated Passions, we're gonna have him come on. Make sure you go follow Poetic Desire, our lovely interim host of the evening, and one of the highlights from our highlight reel of last week. Thank you so much, Poetic Desire. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That was Poetic Desire. Okay, so next up, we're going to end the night with Dark Man Blues, Complicated Passions, and the New Yo, you need to make me host so I can unmute him. But what I'm putting in the chat right now, everyone can see the form I'm about to put in the chat to go sign up. There is the link where you can go sign up. And, oh, that's the New Yo calling me back now. But I don't know who's there. Wait, I can't unmute Complicated Passions.
No, I'm unmuted.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Go ahead, brother. Let people know where they can find you and let's hear your poetry.
Well, I would love for you to find me here on Monday nights, but I've been so hard trying to get into this show. It's like all you guys are so fast. By the time I get on, it'd be like, nope, open list is closed. So I just come on and listen. So I enjoy the shows and stuff like that. So you can find me on IG as dark_man_blues. But hopefully, if I can get on time, you'll find me right here on Monday nights, dropping on this show with Advocate of Words. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it so everybody can go home. Or if you're at home, then you're at home. Check it out. You got my pen inking. I'm adjusting my flow now. Read this like you want to be a part of me. Call me temptation. Yes, I'm a fiend out to get it. This be my theme. In these lines, read my mind. You know what I mean. So big they buy my books in Belgium now. I got them hungry for me. Sounds like R&B. They even dubbed me the Will Downing of poetry. And to think, we all flow differently. Some of us flow rhymes and call it therapy. We elemental minds with poetry. We just need a little of your time. We won't call it a sin. You just need to give in. Like, touch me like I'm going to touch you. I'm looking for a proper beginning with a dope end. Like RMT, I won't stop until you through. I'll need you to come too. I can even Ray Jane you like you miss 2022, flowing like Nick P because I want to be an advocate of words when I speak. You can call me Mr. Speaker. I am Complicated Passions. Thank you.
Complicated Passions. I love it. I love it. One more time, let the people know where they can find you online.
Okay, so on Facebook, I'm Samuel Rain. On IG, I'm dark_men_blues. And tomorrow I will be live at one of my favorite spots in Los Angeles. It's called Swams. I'm gonna probably try to shoot it on IG live. So if you follow me on IG, you get to see me perform live. It's going to be dope. Because this is my first live performance at a real open mic. And well, no, I take that back. With people in the audience out there, because I've been on real open mics here at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. So I'll just say that.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Complicated Passions. Appreciate him. Okay. I'm putting the link to the sign up list again. Apparently there was a problem with it, and I just got word from the Nuyo that they are going to fix it. So I don't know what happened with it. Keep checking that link so you can sign up, because there's only going to be 15 spots. So we've got to wrap it up. But wait, it still has those problems. Okay. So we didn't get to Rivki, we didn't get to Catman Bill, Alejandro, Amanda, and Julian. I'm sorry that we ran out of time. The waiting list isn't guaranteed, but make sure that you guys sign up again for Monday and for Thursday again. I know because of the popularity, which I'm so grateful for, it becomes difficult to be able to sign up at times. So I appreciate not only all of you coming in and sharing your talent, but running the gauntlet to sign up for this open mic list. I know it's probably anxiety inducing, and that's from someone who suffers from anxiety. So I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to wait for the Nuyo to give me the word that the link is fixed. Is the link fixed? I'm about to share. You know what? Maybe I should just call him right while everyone is here. Anyone who's staying here, feel free to hang out, especially if you want to sign up. Let me see. I'm about to put him on speaker. Hopefully he doesn't say anything bad. He's not picking up. He's not picking up. All right. So I really wanted to give you guys, all of you who came here, the opportunity. Is the link fixed? I wanted to give you the opportunity to be able to sign up first. All right. You know what? While I'm waiting for him, let's go to Rivki. We're supposed to wrap up, but while I'm waiting for him, let's get another poet on here. There's Rivki. Let me, I hope I'm saying your name right. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah, perfectly.
Awesome.
Actually. That's unusual.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Rivki. Is this your first time on the Thursday night online open mic?
Last week was my first time, and my son actually wanted to recite his poems. He's 6.5. So I signed us both up. I put it under his name, but I think it went under my name. He did fall asleep, so we're gonna try again Monday night for him. I almost feel like I'm betraying him reciting the poem without him here, but I'm gonna, enjoy this opportunity, and then Monday night we'll try again, and he can recite his poetry. So this one is called Journeying Soul, and I'll just go for it. Who am I? What does my soul want? What physical manifestation did I take on in the last 2, 3, 4 body cloaks that I have worn? So many lifetimes, I will never know. Was I an older woman, a spinster, so sure that if I had been born with beauty and given the gift of a child in my life, then surely I would be content. She is the 93-year-old woman inside of me. I love her. My center, my soul, my core. Was I a man always at war with myself and the world, the battle never ending? A superpower warrior left with no strength by the end of his days? A Samsonite with his haircut? He is my awareness, my pain, my discomfort, and the never-ending seeker in me. Strength depleted, but the soul never receded. Here, I meet the beast inside of me, my PTSD at its finest. Decked out in a red ball gown, always watching and waiting. Gun cocked and ready to fire. The pistol strapped to my right thigh beneath the skirts, the blade to my left. You never even hear the bullet whiz by as it shoots. a silent assassin of strategy and approach. No one ever sees it coming, not even I. The only one who knows is the target, the one who ceaselessly bullied me and continues to do so without letting up. How it unfolds is not even thought out. It is in the moment, as instinctual as a wounded, cornered animal, always strategizing and seeking a way out until it finally finds the courage and lunges into action. Was I a child born in peace and quiet, only to die within a few hours in the sunset of a tomorrow gone and left behind in yesterday's life? This is the youngin inside of me. She is overloaded by the sensory of this world and just wants to retreat into heavenly quietude. Don't be fooled by the loud aggression of my inner soldier, the rage spinning endlessly into overloaded sensory. Now all I want is to retreat into the womb-like lull of quiet defeat. There is no win because I have fought and lost my precious energy the moment it was engaged, drained, trapped, and caught. Was I a queen of Sheba with the responsibility of a harem of men, only wishing for the feathered wings of my soul to land quietly, settled, and nestled gently into Solomon's embrace, in the quiet soul-speaking company of my soulmate? This is the daily mask I wear, while feeling a ceaseless urge to rip it off and tear at the automated responsiveness built into me. I cannot deconstruct it, and it is too essential, you see, to growing and developing into the best version of self I can be. Yet somewhere I sense there is a mate with whom I can relax, be at ease, and comfortably debate. There is no confusion, just communication when there is frustration, kindness in response to my periodic emotional blindness, and comfortable ease rather than always demanding to be appeased. Around such a spirit, I smile, content, and breathe free, their soul lit up, a soft, pulsing glow, yet a shining beacon to me. That's it.
Oh, Rivki. Oh, yes. Yes. Maybe that's why I had technical difficulties, because we were going to end and we weren't going to hear you, but the technical difficulties forced me to speak to the powers behind the scene, and it gave you a chance to share your poetry. Rivki, one more time, please let the people know where we can find you online.
So I think I go by Rebecca Gansberg on Instagram. I have to actually look. Yeah, I just go by, Rivky Connects, RIVKY, and then the word connect, CONNECTS. So I post my poetry on there on Instagram. Yeah, mainly there. I'm not so active on Facebook.
Please do not be a stranger. I appreciated that. Thank you so much, Rivki.
Thank you for letting me share. It was really great to connect with you and everyone.
Thank you, Rivki. We got to hear because of the technical difficulties. So, and then next time we'll get to hear her son, which she had signed up for. Okay, so I posted a link again. You can go sign up. Once this is shut down, I'm going on all my social media accounts and putting the link out there. So I hope you signed up, because I know it's going to fill up really quick. Thank all of y'all so much also for your patience with the technical difficulties. We still got most of the people here who were here earlier. I appreciate y'all so much. Yes. Oh, Niece is gonna come on June 12th. Yeah. Do you get an email confirmation? I don't know if there's gonna be an email confirmation. They just gave this to me, so I'm not sure if you guys are gonna get the email confirmation or not, but maybe Emily shouldn't, because Emily was one of the people that came and hung out with everyone, and it didn't reach out to me. So now I love Emily. Emily is awesome. So with that being said, we are going to wrap it up. Every Thursday night, we do this La Bruja host at 9 p.m. Monday nights, I'm doing this at 8 p.m. Make sure you follow me online at Advocate of Words. That is with a Z. And after a hectic ending, even though I know it's Thursday, I've been having other people do it on Mondays, so I'm going to do it here on Thursday. I'm going to say, good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Agarin into your home. This has been the Thursday night online open mic presented by the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, hosted by me, Advocate of Words, filling in for La Bruja, who will be here next week. Send some good energy to that woman as she auditions for this film. I hope she gets it. And with that being said, I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you for this night. Good night, sweet poet. And thank you to Jason Quinones and Chris Lopez for helping me out when everything went to,